I understand. In order for me to become black, I have to work hard at it. And I'm willing to do the time. Yeah. I took the first opportunity I could. Bought myself a plane ticket from South Africa, and I said, I'm going out to America. I'm going there, and I'm going to be black. And I got on that plane. It was an 18-hour flight, 18 hours of non-stop flying, and I sat there in my chair, and I spent every moment practicing being black, just practicing. I was like, I'm not gonna mess up this black opportunity. I just sat there, just working through everything. I was watching every black movie and TV show, just going through it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. King Kong ain't got shit on me. Yeah. What you talking about, Willis? I was grinding. You laugh, but 18 hours of flying, and I landed in JFK, and I was fluent in my black American. For shizzle my nizzle. I was walking around. I was so black, I was even laughing black. I was like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah. My man. Ha, ha. Should have seen me. It was like, oh, this you? That has to be the personification of cool, in my opinion. There's nothing cooler. Black Americans are so cool, they can make you feel good about yourself just by asking if you are you. You don't believe me? Get a black American man to come up to you and just be like, hey, yo, this you? Nah, this you? And you'll be like, I think it is. Magic. I was that black. Not just any black, but the coolest black in the world, and that's American black. I can say this with confidence, being from Africa. I know black. I'm well versed in the arts of black. I'm from the black factory. I mean it. I've seen every kind of black, from light black all the way to like navy blue black. I know black. And there's no cooler black than American black. Nothing cooler, you know? Because American black people, I mean, you just look at how much they've done to influence modern day pop culture, you know? Small things and the big alike. You look at the music. You've got, you know, jazz, hip hop, R&B, all black Americans, style of clothing, you know, just this general swag that they've brought to everything. Even small things like walking. I mean, walking is such a mundane activity, isn't it? It's just very... There's nothing cool about this thing. You just move from one place to the next, and pretty much everybody can do it. This is it. There's nothing. And then black Americans came along, and then they just added in that bounce, and then all of a sudden you look really cool. You just, you know, you look like you have a purpose. You've just got that. Yeah, look at this. It's super cool. And it must be hard for an assassin to kill you, just like. That's why if you look in American history, no black man was ever assassinated whilst walking, ever. It was when they stopped and said something. Bang! That's when they were, because they got the walk. That's why if you look, Obama, every time he comes out of the jet or makes a speech, he's always just got that little bounce just before. Because in his head, he's like, you never know. Got the walk. It's a cool walk. And by far, the coolest thing of all is the talk. I've listened to black Americans, and it's the most amazing use of the English language I've ever come across in my life. Because they pay no regard to punctuation whatsoever. Just cruise through sentences. It's fantastic. First time I had a conversation with a black American man was in Baltimore, Maryland. This guy walked up to me after the show. He didn't even walk. He just floated in. Just came up to me and was like, hey, yo, babe. Hey, yo, let me holler at you for a minute, man. Let me holler at you. I said, okay. He's like, man, I ain't even gonna front, man. I came out here, dude. I ain't even know who you was, man. I didn't even know I was out here at the show. I bought my girl. We was out there. You came out there. You were doing your thing. I was like, yo, man, I ain't even know they got them yellow bones out there in the motherland, man. I was like, yo, this kid better be funny, man, but I ain't gonna lie. You came out there, you was keeping it coming, keeping it moving. You was just beasting. I was like, all right, man, maybe this kid is the truth, yeah? This kid was doing his thing. He was keeping it out there. I started laughing. My girl was killing herself. I was like, all right, this mofo got flow for show. You know what I mean? And I was like, no, I don't. But I love it. It's the most amazing use of English I've ever come across in my life. Just that one word alone, just the strength of that. Nah mean. Do you know what I mean? You nah mean? It sums it all up, doesn't it? It's just, neither question nor statement. It's just, like, why have we been wasting our time with syllables for so long? I don't understand. It was a crazy day today, you know what I mean? Yo, that shit was crazy, you know what I mean? It just flows, it's magical. It says it all. I feel like I've wasted years of my life without nah mean. I wish I could go back in time and relive my favorite moments, watch my favorite movies again, see them bring to life. This is Sparta! Nah mean! Power. Let's give it something, I want to take that word home with me, home to Africa. I hope and I pray that someday I have a daughter, just so I may name her Namin, No, because it sounds exotic and foreign. It has that thing to it. You'd be like, Trevor, who's that? Oh, this? Oh, it's my baby girl, Namin. It just has it, It's wonderful. Just go back. I bet even greats like Shakespeare would have loved to use that word. They say he invented more words than anyone, but not me. Oh, I bet he's in his grave going, I wish I had. You can see it on one of those great plays on the stages of Manchester and London. Theatre actors just walking out there with their big collars. Ah, yes, Prometheus, and hither doth he come. I am the son of a humble thespian. Nah, mean. That's the magic. That's what I was, man. I was that black. You should have seen me. Just walking around the airport, shouting random things. Brooklyn! I didn't even know where that was. I was super black. Until some guy came up to me and he was like, Oye, papi! Ya llegamos, Pecado conocemos! I said, what? He's like, yo, man, we made it, man, we made it. And now that we're here, our kind, we got to stick together, man. Our kind. 18 hours of flying and I still wasn't black. I was Puerto Rican. My dreams were dashed. And I thought it was a once-off, but it's not, Go around on the East Coast, places like Miami. Oh, that's the worst for me. Walk around the streets of Miami and I see people who look exactly like me and, they see me, I see them. We give each other that look of home, like. Guys come up to me, they're like, hey, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué para conocerlos? Like, whoa. Yo, I don't speak Spanish, man. Guy was like, what? You don't speak Spanish? I said, no, I don't. He's like, you should be ashamed of yourself. I said, no, I shouldn't be ashamed. It's not my culture. I'm actually South African. He's like, South African? Like you were born there? So yeah, my whole life. He's like, Africa? So yeah, he's like, Africa? So no, the one next to it. Yes, Africa. He's like, oh man, you don't look like you're from Africa, man. So what the hell is that supposed to mean? He's like, I don't know. You look like you grew up in the shade, man. Asshole. Because that's what people expect, isn't it? Yeah, that's what everyone expects. When they hear Africa, that's all they think. Those are the images they see. Say, this next comedian is from Africa. And people think a guy in leopard skin will come running on the stage. Like, let me tell you monkey jokes. And it's not like that, It's not. I mean, I do have good monkey jokes, but that's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. Just everyone has these images of Africa, and it's not your fault as Americans. I understand that as Americans, like, you don't know much about South Africa. I've realized this in my time here. You don't know much about Africa as a whole, which is, you guys don't know much about anything, but that's not your fault. It's just you guys are so big and America-centric, and you don't get outside images. You don't see anything. In fact, in my time in America, the only thing I've seen of Africa is always those ads. Have you seen those commercials? Those UNICEF ads have you seen those? They're asking you for the money. I hate those ads. They don't even warn you that those things are coming on TV. I was sitting there enjoying myself, watching comedy shows, and the next thing you know, you just see this horrible village. It's just dirty, and there's old rusting buildings, and these sad black people, and I'm looking, I'm like, ooh, where is that? Cleveland? And then a thing comes up, and it's like, Africa. I'm like, really? Where? And then they show you the starving people, and it's always the same. They've always got the starving look. They always do the pose. They've always got that, like, why haven't you called look? One by one. And they show you these people, and there's a starving mother and a starving child, and it's horrible. And then there's a celebrity. There's always, the most important thing is a celebrity who comes out. And they speak for them. That way we'll understand. And the one I saw was Penelope Cruz. She was the celebrity. She's beautiful. Oh, and she came out, and the starving mother and child were there, and Penelope came out, and she was next. Well, she wasn't next to them. It was blue screen. But she wanted to be there. She walked out. She pointed, and she was like, this is Africa. Did you know every year more than 5 million children in Africa die of waterborne illnesses and diseases that could have been prevented? You can make a difference in this child's life. I know you're sitting at home, and like me, you're saying, "Ba Penelope, I'm so far. What can I do to help?" Well, I'm here to tell you, it's easier than you think. And it's a wonderful message, and she's beautiful. I'm really trying to pay attention to this, but for the life of me, I can't concentrate because I'm watching, and out of the corner of my eye, there's this fly that's just buzzing around. It's buzzing, and she's just ignoring it, and the fly is there on the eye. How does a fly sit on your eye? You see with the thing in the mouth, and I can't concentrate how do they get the fly there every single time? Can somebody tell me this? In every single ad, the fly is there, and it's always in exactly the same place for the entire ad. I can't get a fly to sit still in my kitchen for 4 seconds, and I sneak up really slowly, but they can get the fly to sit there every single time they film. I'm starting to think it's like a trick fly. It's a Hollywood fly, isn't it? One of those trained creatures from Disney. I know what those guys are capable of. I've seen Lassie. A trained fly. They probably got the fly on lockdown. They're ready. They get everybody together. They got the starving people. They're like, okay, we're ready to shoot. Where's the fly? Here, sir. Here, sir. Come on, boy. Get it. And stay. Action. Did you know every year more than 5 million children are starving? Horrible. Hate those ads. Hate the people who make those ads. I mean, there's people starving everywhere in the world, but you can give them a bit of dignity. And I hate the people in those ads as well, because they make Africans look bad. Yeah. And I can say that. You go, oh, but don't hate them, they're starving. No, you know what? I don't care. I really don't, because people starving everywhere. And I grew up in a black family in Africa, and no matter how poor or hungry we were, we could still do this. It was 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Hottest where the worst thing is everyone comes up to me and they go, well, you must be used to this being from Africa. And no, I'm not. I'm from Africa, but that shit is hot. That was just, no. I was scared to go jogging because I thought if I ran out in the streets and fainted, wouldn't the local news love that? I'd be running and I'd fall down in the heat. They would have their vans reporting live. They'd be standing there going, so hot in Atlanta, even Africans are fainting. So I'm enjoying this. Really happy to be here, you know. This is going to be good for us, I hope. I say I hope because I never know with stand-up comedy. It's just, you know, it's an awkward experience, I find. I'm always nervous. I find comedy is very similar to sex for me. Well, it's exactly like sex when you think about it. With me, the comedian, playing the role of the man, and you, the audience, the role of the woman. Because it's my job to satisfy you. And you just have to sit there. And then, just like sex, my success or failure will somehow be determined by how much noise you make during my performance. Which makes it a one-sided affair, I feel, you know? Yeah, I mean, maybe you're the quiet type. I hope we have magic tonight. I hope we create something wonderful. I mean, for many of us, it's our first time together, and that means it might be awkward. I understand this. And if that's the case, I want you to know that I'll look into your eyes, I'll see that I'm freaking you out, and I'll stop. I'll stop, and I'll flip you back over, and we'll go back to the simple stuff. Okay? I've been in America for a few months now, and I'm really just thrown by the place. It's not what I expected at all. Different from the brochures and the pamphlets. There's many assumptions I had about America before I came here, and I've come to learn that those were wrong. For one, I just assumed people spoke English here. It's far from it. It's not, you know what, it's not so much the language, so much as the pronunciation of words that throws me off. It's just what Americans have done with the language. You guys have just, wow, you've done something. You've put 22s on the English language. You've got rims that just pimp my language. That's what you've gone with, you know? I don't understand. I was chatting to this woman downtown the other day. She came up to me and she wanted me to see something. I don't know what, though. She was like, oh my God, look over there. I said, look over what? She's like, over there. Look at that her. And I said, her? She's like, no, her. There's two of them? I understand nothing, even the small words, just the pronunciation, you know, small things that get you by. For instance, I pronounce the opposites of uncle as aunt. I say my aunt. Out here, you say my aunt, which to me is an insect, which made me look like an ass when my friend told me his aunt died. And I was like, so what? There's tons of those out there. What a great way to end a friendship. I couldn't get help the other day when searching for a battery for my remote control, because that's what I say, battery, a small form of power. So in America, you say battery, which to me is a different form of power. Sponsored by Chris Brown. Very... And you know what to understand? We live on different sides of the globe, so it's fine. The language will evolve. This is something I've come to understand. But I hope I change one thing in your hearts forever. Just one thing. And that is that animal in the wild that looks like a horse. It has black and white stripes. Yeah, do me a favor. From now on, please, it's not zebra, okay? It's zebra. Yeah? Just like it's not Debra, it's Deborah. Same structure of word. Plus, you cannot name them because you do not have them. Zebra. This is madness. Everything out here is different. Do you know how hard it is to learn when you come out here? You have to change everything. There's the measurement system, which is just, I mean, America, you guys have your own thing, the imperial system, you know? On my side of the world, we use the metric system, and by my side, I mean the rest of the world, you know? We have the metric system, which is, amongst other things, very efficient. It's a very simple process. You know, everything goes into each other. And out here you have imperial, which is fine. I mean, I won't judge you. If you want to be imaginary, that's up to you. But I just feel like there's some consistency that's needed. Small things. Like, for instance, when we abbreviate our small measurement, milligrams, we use mg, milligrams. Mg, milligrams. Yeah? And you guys have ounces, which you then abbreviate O-Z. There's no Z in the word ounces. I don't know. That's pale in comparison to what you've done with pounds. That for me, please explain to me how the abbreviation for pounds became LBS. LB pounds. I look like the idiot walking into the store going, could I please have the 2 labs bag of sugar? Guy was like, you mean pounds? I said, I don't see the P, no, I don't. He said, well, it means pounds. It's not LBS. A lot of bullshit, that's what it stands for. This is horrible. In fact, it's crazy. You do realize the imperial system is so inefficient that even American drug dealers have switched over to metric. Even drug dealers got to the point where they said, we need some order, we're going with metric. And I honestly thought this was an anomaly. I thought, you know what, this is just one of those things, it's a coincidence, but it's not. Americans do not care about abbreviation nor the English language. They don't give a damn. I learned this in the small things. Like for instance, when I was in Tennessee, I stumbled on an organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. You heard of them? Worst magic show ever. Guy gave me a pamphlet, he was like, come and see the Grand Wizard. Grand Wizard, the Grand Wizard. Didn't do one trick. Not even one trick. I mean, I noticed a few black people disappear, but I mean, that's not magic. No, that's just Reaganomics. I wasn't impressed by that. Like, where's the magic? I sat there forever. These guys running around in their sheets. Yeah! The KKK, as they're affectionately known. Has nobody bothered to tell them ever that you do not spell clan with a K? Nobody stopped. Even in America, clan is spelt with a C. The Ku Klux Klan, they're the KKC, not the KKK. You realize that? Ku Klux Klan. C. In fact, the name is wrong, the whole thing, the Ku Klux parts of it. That's just horrible, because they got that, as you know, from ancient Greece. It was Kuklos Alphion, meaning a circle of brothers. And that's how they got their name. They call themselves a Greek circle of brothers, which is wrong for 2 reasons. One, if your sole purpose as an organization is to hate black people, don't you find it strange that you've now named yourself the Circle of Brothers? And secondly, do they realize that in ancient Greece, circles of brothers were doing very different things with one another? Very loving, very, you know, yeah. If they were really a Greek circle, the sheets would be a bit higher up, you know, just more of a, yeah, maybe one more hole. They're not a... I love it. I have no problem with these things. I will learn them. I'm willing to take this in my stride. Because that's not why I came to America, not to analyze the English language. No, I came to America because I always wanted one thing, and that is, I always wanted to be black. You laugh, but it's true. That's all I ever wanted. I grew up in South Africa during a time known as apartheid. And for those who don't know, apartheid was a law in South Africa that made it illegal for black and white people to interact with each other, you know? If you did that, then you would get into trouble. So for instance, this black young lady here sitting with the white guy, if you did this in South Africa, then they'd arrest you guys. You couldn't, during apartheid, you couldn't, well, they'd arrest the black girl. They just ask you not to do it again. And so this was awkward for me because I grew up in a mixed family, you know? Well, with me being the mixed one in the family. My mother's a black woman, South African, and my father's Swiss, from Switzerland. So he was a white man, and basically, well, he still is a white man. It's not like he changed. Sorry, I said was, like through hard work and determination, he became black, which is not, that guy's looking at me like, is that possible? It's not, no, sir. You're fine, you're 100% fine. Your position of privilege is just the way it was. Although it would be something though, if you could work so hard you became black, that would just be, wouldn't it? That would change the workplace forever. You see guys walking into their office talking to the boss, Jim, I think I'm gonna take a few days off. I don't know, I feel it coming on. Yeah, I've been putting in some overtime, and I don't know, man. I just, yeah, look, I mean, the wife's loving it, but I can't take a chance. I just filled out a new loan application, and my credit's looking real good, so, I'm gonna take a few days off, yeah. No, you're fine, sir. My father is alive and still very, very white. From Switzerland, my mother, Xhosa woman from South Africa, yeah. And they got together during this time, which was against the law, but they didn't care, you know? They were mavericks. They were just, they fought the man. My mom was like, woo, I don't care, I want a white man, woo! You know? And my dad was also like, well, you know how the Swiss love chocolate, so he was just... he was in there. And so they got together, and they had me, which was illegal. So I was born a crime, which is something they never thought through, because as a family, we couldn't live normally together, you know? Like in the streets, my father had to walk on the other side of the road, and he could just wave at me from far, like a creepy pedophile. And then my mom could walk with me, but if the police showed up, then she'd have to let go of my hand, drop me, and act like I wasn't hers. Every time, just so we wouldn't get caught. Be like, woo! She'd be like, I don't know. It was horrible. I felt like a bag of weed. And one of the punishments for this crime was I was never afforded a race. I was never called black. I was never called white. I got horrible names like mixed breed and mutt and half caste, and it was a horrible time for me. And one fateful day, I'll never forget, I met an American in South Africa, and he said to me, well, Trevor, it's funny you say that, because if you come out to America, they'll label you as black. I said, really? And he was like, hell yeah. Oh yeah, everybody's black out there. I was like, wow, well, I want to be black. And I found out it's true. Mixed race people are categorized as black in America. Yeah. The only catch is, and nobody tells you this, you have to be liked and successful first. Before then, they say you mixed. You achieve success, and you get upgraded to black. All the famous mixed people do it. Singers, like Alicia Keys and Mariah Carey, yeah? Mixed, but then they say black singers. Sportsmen, like Tiger Woods, mixed, but then they say black golfer. The most famous mixed person on the planet by far, Barack Obama, mixed, half and half, straight down the middle. But then they say America's first black president, which is interesting because when he was running, they called him the mixed candidate. I see how it works. Everyone makes it obvious now. They're like, yeah, Barack, of course he won, of course. It wasn't that obvious when he started. It wasn't. I remember comedians coming out. They used to diss him. Guys would come out on stage and be like, man, how many of y'all seen that crazy-ass mixed fool running for president? Y'all seen that mixed fool running for president? What you gonna see? Ain't no mixed fool gonna be president of the United States of America. Ain't no man, which white people gonna be voting for a mixed fool? Even a black man can't win shit. Even a black man can't. How some mixed fool think he gonna do it out? Man, that mixed fool, that crazy-ass mixed fool. How some mixed fool, that mixed fool? And then he won, and all of a sudden they were like, my nigga. So... the immigrant problems. It's the fear of something that is different. Because when people say they don't like immigrants, most of the time they're not referring to immigrants who look and sound like them. They're talking about immigrants who speak differently, who look different. Because an accent comes with a connotation. You think you know if someone is smart or stupid because of their accent. And yet the truth is an accent is not a measure of intelligence. It's just someone speaking your language with the rules of theirs. Accents have connotations. We cannot deny it. Look at the French. We all believe that the French are romantic. Why? Because of their accents. They've got that thing. I was thinking that maybe we could, how you say, afterwards, maybe we could try to, oh my God, he's so sexy, oh my God. Accents determine how we see people. Same thing happens with the Russians. The Russians, the most feared people on the planet. Why? Because of how they speak. I don't care who you are, you cannot deny that when a Russian speaks, you are not comfortable. As soon as they open their mouths, yeah, go to kill you, break you. I destroy your family. Even if they say nice things, it still sounds menacing and dangerous. Yeah, fluffy rabbits and teddy bears. Happy Valentine's Day. Sounds like a threat. You don't mess with the Russians. I don't care who you are, where you are in the world. You do not mess with the Russians because of that accent. All of us in the world are afraid of the Russians. They do that thing when they speak. It strikes fear into the hearts of men. And you see it every single day. Look at what happened at the Olympics. We found out that the Russians have been doping for the last 4 or 5 Olympics. Olympic Committee banned them, confidently as well, while they were in Zurich. We here at the Olympic Committee feel that Russians may no longer participate in the Olympic Games due to their doping practices. And they are now hereby uninvited from the Games in Rio and banned hitherto and into the future. Thank you very much. And the Russians were like, what did you say? Well, the truth is, the Olympics is for everybody, yeah? You can come when you want. And, I mean, who am I to ban you? Yeah, this is for all of us. Okay, I see you in Rio. Okay, yeah, Wiedersehen, bye-bye. Everyone's afraid of the Russians. You see it when it comes to geopolitics. Look at what happened in the Ukraine. Russia took a piece of another country, annexed Crimea, no provocation, no reason. Out of nowhere, the Russians were just like, yeah, I like. And the whole world, what did we do? You don't mess with the Russians. Most frightening people in the world. You know how I know this? You know how I've learned? Because I've learned how to use the Russian accent for myself. I've learned how to harness that energy and use it for good. I'll share this with you, I don't mind. I'm not particularly comfortable in the house at night by myself. What I'm trying to say is I'm afraid of the dark. And I know it's stupid to be afraid of the dark, right? Because there's nothing there, 9 times out of 10. But what happens is I'll be sleeping, and in the middle of the night I'll be woken up by the need to pee. And whenever that happens, I'm always faced with the eternal dilemma. When I go to the bathroom, do I turn the lights on and lose my sleep? Or do I leave the lights off and shit myself? I never know which one to go with. But what I started doing now is I leave the lights off. And when I go to the bathroom, I just speak to myself in a Russian accent. And it sounds crazy, but I feel safe. I feel like I'm the most dangerous thing in the night. You'll find me at 3 a.m. barefoot walking to the toilet like, yes, big boy, go to make a pee-pee. No trouble over here, it's potty time. I feel safe. I feel like even if there's a monster under the bed, I'll be like, is that a Russian? There's just something about that Russian accent. It made me realize, ladies, every single one of you in this audience needs to learn a Russian accent. Because you read stories all the time. I talk to my female friends all the time, my family members, and women are constantly under assault. Women are living a life of being vulnerable, walking through the streets, men catcalling, in the office place, people groping, feeling like they have ownership of the female form. And I know, ladies, we can't solve this tomorrow, but if you learned a Russian accent, half of those problems would disappear. Yeah, the next time you're in a compromising position, you're at a bar, waiting for your drink. That creepy guy comes up and starts grinding on you from behind. Hey, how are you? Hey, you want to dance? No, I'm fine, thank you. I'm just getting a drink, thank you. I don't want to. Come on, dance with me, girl, come on. No, I'm fine. I don't want to dance, thank you. I'm waiting for my friends. I'm good. Come on, I know you want me. Woo, you know I want you. Come on, I know you want me. I don't want to dance with you, please. Hey, you don't gotta be such a bitch. Whenever that happens, ladies, don't be afraid, don't stress. Just whip out your Russian and kill it dead. As soon as he says that, as soon as he's like, don't be such a bitch, just be like, you want to see bitch? Done. Sober up and walk away. Use it for anything, ladies. Anything. At work, in the streets. Use it at home. It doesn't have to be life or death. It could be a mild annoyance. Yeah. Next time you're in bed, you're trying to get to sleep, but you can't. Because there's this horny little rabbit behind you. Dry humping your back. You know the nights I'm talking about. Everyone in this room knows the nights I'm talking about. Ladies, you're dog tired, you just want to fall asleep. and he's there behind you. Baby. 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 What? Are you sleeping? Yeah, I'm trying. What do you want? I want you, baby. I've wanted you all night. Oh, I want you so bad. You look so good right now in that nightgown and your curlers, girl. I just want you so bad right now. Oh, baby, thank you for thinking I'm beautiful even though I'm in my curlers. But please, can we talk about this tomorrow? I'm so tired, baby. Aren't you tired? I'm never tired for you, girl. I want you right now. Oh, baby, please. Let's do this tomorrow, please. I'm so tired. I just want to sleep. It's fine. You can sleep. I don't mind. No, I'm not gonna.
Yo, for real, ladies, can I just say, men are creeps. On behalf of all men, I apologize because we are disgusting creeps, every single one of us.
No, I'm not gonna sleep. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? What do you mean, what's wrong with me? I just want you. Is that so bad? No, baby, I'm just tired. Yeah, but you said when we left the show, you were like, oh, that was fun, we had a good time. And then we were driving home, and then you were like, oh, I can't wait to get you back. Yeah, I know I said that, and I did. I wanted to, but then I got into bed. I didn't even realize how tired I was, baby. Please, I promise you I'm not... Oh, you do this to me all the time. What am I supposed to do now, huh? What am I supposed to do? Look at me now. Do you know how hard it is to have blue balls? Do you know how painful this is? Huh? What am I supposed to do now with this? What am I...
And you know, ladies, I love how guys talk about an erection like it's something we bought at the store and we can't return. And I say, what am I supposed to do with this, huh? What am I supposed to do with this? I've opened it, I can't take it back, huh? Huh? What am I supposed to do with this?
Whenever that happens, ladies, you aren't fighting the man, you're fighting his horniness. It's gonna turn into a fight that's gonna spoil your week, maybe your month. Don't let it happen. Just get your Russian out and kill it dead. As soon as he starts losing it, you're doing this all the time, you reject me, I just want you, and just be like, okay, okay. Show me what penis can do, let's go. Make action, lover boy. Done.
Problem solved. Even the penis will be like, you know what, you're right. I told him, but he wouldn't listen to me. I don't even know how we got to this point, to be honest, because you see what had happened was, he called me, and he was like, come out, there's a party, and then I came out, and I was like, you're sleeping? He's like, oh no, don't worry, I'll wake up. Then I was like, don't wake her up, because you know me, I don't wake you up. I'm here like 5 times a night, I've never woken you up. I don't know why he woke you up. I'm gonna be chilling. In fact, I had some stuff to do, so you should go back to bed because I respect you. In fact, I had some paperwork that I'm gonna be handling in my office, so if you need me, you know where to find me. But he shouldn't have done it in the first place. I just wanna apologize for that because I don't think you should ever have to be in a situation where a man is pressuring you.
John! Kill it dead, ladies. All you need is that Russian accent. The most dangerous accents in the world. And yet, strangely enough, I found the Russian language does not make me fear at all. Strangest discovery I made. The Russian accent makes me fear. The Russian language does not. Because a language is something someone else speaks. An accent is me interpreting how they're using mine. It's a completely different thing. I was walking through the streets one day, there was a man on the phone, a Russian guy, speaking to someone in English. Sounded like he was setting up a drug deal. And then he switched into Russian, and it was the strangest thing that happened in my brain. He was walking, and he was like, yeah, Vlad, the guys go to bed, okay, at 3 o'clock. Yeah, you go to tell me when you get the package. Afterwards, I go to let you know what's happening. No, Vlad, no, listen, Vlad. Нет, Vlad, давай дальше ракетчик надо, нет? Вы точно вероятно. Нет, вы точно, сепе нот. Вы точно, нет, как точно говорят? Фиамат, рабочий нет. Нет, вы точно, спасибо, когда же, да. That was the weirdest thing in my head. In my head, he instantly went from international criminal to immigrant. Instantly. I wasn't afraid anymore. It was the strangest thing. He was just a normal person in my mind because Russian doesn't frighten me. If anything, Russian just sounds like a DJ is scratching on a turntable.
That's all I hear when I hear Russian. It sounds like a DJ took a turntable and they're scratching English like, yeah, Vlad, the guys got to be there, okay, 3 o'clock, okay? Yeah, you got to let me know when you get the package. Afterwards, the guys got to call me, okay? Yeah, don't worry about that. I'll let you know what's happening. No, Vlad. No, listen, Vlad. Beautiful place, beautiful people. Rich in culture. My favorite thing to do while I was there was just try and learn the Scottish accent. I butcher it, but I don't care. I have fun. What I do when I travel is I try to speak to people in their accent and see if they can catch me out. It's one of my favorite games. Like I'd walk into a store in Edinburgh and I'd just be like, "Good afternoon. I would like to buy a pair of shoes." They'd be like, "Where are you from?" "I'm from Scotland." "Aye, what part?" "Johannesburg." I love it though. I love accents not just because they sound fun and it's an interesting thing to do. I love accents because I'm always impressed by how much power they have over us, over our minds. When someone speaks a certain way, it changes how we feel about that person. For good and for bad. We do it all the time. You see some people in the streets, they speak to you, you think of them a different way. You see world leaders, they speak a certain way, you think of them a different way. Barack Obama, one of the greatest examples of that. Everything about Barack Obama was by far the coolest president that has ever existed. Just everything about the man, That confidence, the smile, the swag. When you notice Barack, I would notice it in the small things. Like when he'd step out of Air Force One. He did it like no other president in the world. Normally presidents step out of their airplane in like a frumpy manner. There's no class or skill, just like come out. But Barack, he wouldn't step out, he'd emerge. He'd emerge like he was stepping out of the plane and into a music video. He'd just do that thing where he'd come out. And then he'd go down the stairs, doing it the only way he could, The way he descended, it almost looked like every time he hit the ground, he was just gonna go into verse 1, Just straight in, just like, "Girl, I wanna take you there, give you my Obamacare." Oh man. Barack Obama's just too cool. He had the walk, he had the talk. And that was the big thing a lot of people never realized about Barack Obama, is the talk. That's what really gave him the edge. He has a certain way of speaking, a certain voice that commands your attention, makes you feel about him a certain way. It's the accent, the way he speaks. And I don't know how many people realize this, but Nelson Mandela had the same thing. Yeah. See, the thing Barack Obama has in his voice, that is the voice of a first black president. Now, a lot of people didn't notice that because he was the first and last first black president of the United States. So you wouldn't know to compare. I'm lucky in that I've gotten to be, I've gotten to live in the country of 2 first black presidents, namely Nelson Mandela and Barack Obama. So I know what I'm talking about. They both had that thing. It's just difficult to hear because Nelson Mandela is obviously South African and he was older, but they both had that thing in the voice. When Nelson Mandela would speak, a room would silence. You could feel the energy.
"I believe that every person, regardless of the color of their skin, should have equal rights, and they may never be taken again. To those who would seek to oppress, I say to you, never and never again."
And the people would lose their minds. And people would feel the chills because he had that thing. Like Nelson Mandela was destined for greatness because of that voice. He could not be a normal man with a voice like that. You can't do normal things with that voice. You are destined for greatness. You can't just be running around in the streets.
And a Kit Kat, please.
No. It's so unique. You can't be silly. What are you making, prank phone calls? Who the hell is this?
I'm not telling you.
It just doesn't work. I remember when Nelson Mandela was still alive, and he would tell jokes at press conferences and events, and no one would laugh. Because everyone thought a man who had been in jail for 27 years couldn't make a joke. And yet he still did. He still kept what was him. But it was partly because of that voice. He would tell the joke and it would just sound too epic for people to laugh. Everything he did, it'd just be like, knock, knock. He'd be like, let him in.
No. You must say, who's there?
He is so right. We've always got to ask, who's there? Who's here? Who are we? Oh my God. It was because of that voice. The first black president voice. And I'll never forget the day I saw a picture of Barack Obama meeting Nelson Mandela for the very first time. It's a beautiful image, and it's of the two men in silhouettes. In Chicago, Nelson Mandela sitting in a chair, Barack Obama leaning over him. And this was way back in the day. This was before Barack Obama was a blip on the presidential radar. He was a junior senator. Not many people knew his name. Back then, he was driving around in his own car, no motorcade, had his aide with him. And that day, they heard Nelson Mandela was going to be in Chicago meeting people. Barack Obama wanted to meet him his whole life. And so he rushed over there. And he was the last person Nelson Mandela saw, the last person he saw that day. And I always imagine Nelson Mandela was sitting in the room, and his assistant came over. She was like,
Mr. Mandela, I know we said we are done, but unfortunately there's just one person who would like to meet you, sir.
I was like, Zelda, I'm so tired. Can we leave?
No, I know you want to leave, Mr. Mandela, but there's a young man that you really need to meet. His name is Barack Hussein Obama.
Barack Hussein Obama. He's American.
Yes, that's correct.
He is going to have a tough time. Where is he?
He's right outside the door.
Okay, show him in. Show Barack in.
Okay, I'll be right back. And she went over to the door. She's like, Mr. Obama, Mr. Mandela will see you now.
And Barack walked in. He was super excited to meet his idol. Nelson Mandela was sitting on the chair. He looked over.
Young Barack, how are you?
And Barack was like, oh man, Nelson Mandela, man, this is the craziest day of my life, man. I can't believe this shit right now. I can't believe I'm meeting Nelson Mandela for the first time, man. Oh man, I waited my whole life for this moment. I'm like, I won't be just like you, man. I read your books, man. I saw what you were doing in prison. I was like, I'm gonna be the first black president of America. I'm gonna do the same things you did, man. I'm gonna win those votes, and I'm gonna be the first black president of America. And Nelson Mandela was like,
not with that voice. You will scare the white people.
oh man, Nelson Mandela, this is the greatest day of my life, man. Oh, I don't even understand how man, I just want to know from you, how do I do it? How do I do what you did? How do I become the first black president?
Well, first things first, we need to change that voice. You don't sound like you are going to lead anything.
I don't know what you mean, man. I don't know what you mean.
You are speaking so fast. Slow it down. You are not being chased anymore.
I never thought of it like that, man. I never thought.
Slow down.
Okay, I guess I do speak fast sometimes. I could
slower than that.
I could slow it down. I could slow it way down. Is this good?
That's better. Now, you need to make sure you add some bass to your voice.
I don't know why that's an issue.
Imagine if I spoke like this. Do you think people would have voted for me? No, I would still be in jail. Bring some bass. Okay, I could try to, I could try to bring some bass. Is that lower than that? I could go lower than that. Is that good? Lower than that. Lower, way down. I could keep it here. I can keep it here. That's better. Now, very important. To be a first black president, your pacing must be powerful. Every word must seem like the last you will ever speak.
Wow, that's powerful, Mr. Mandela. Let me try to speak like that. Does that work?
That's good. Very good.
I can feel it.
Yes, now for the magic touch. To be first black president, you need to have the husk. No more husky. That's it, you are getting it now. That's it. I think you've got it. Now repeat after me. America.
America.
No, the husk. Bring the husk back. America.
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 America. America. Yes, I can feel it. Say, this is my country.
This is my country.
Yes, this is my dream.
This is my dream.
Yes, I can feel it. You are going to be the first black president.
I don't know. Do you think we can do it?
Yes, we can.
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 You've got it right. Now go get them, my nigga.
It's Muslims. If it's not Muslims, it's Africans from shithole countries. And that one was my favorite personally, because I am an African and I've shat in a hole. I also liked it because like people came up to me and asked me questions. There was one man who came up to me after a show, really concerned. He was like, "Trevor, hey, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead, my friend." He said, "Hey, Trevor, I just wanted to know when Donald Trump says all these horribly racist things, do you sometimes just want to, pack it up, leave America, go back to South Africa and escape all this racism?" I said, "My friend, you don't go to South Africa to escape racism. That's where you go to stock up." Are you kidding me? That's the one thing that reminds me of home. Racism out here. Because we've got tons of racism in South Africa. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten a lot better. When I was growing up, we had apartheid. And, apartheid was basically the best racism in the world. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, now you're going to feel bad and be like, "Oh, racism was the best." No, it wasn't. It was good, but not the best. And I experienced a bunch of racism, and everyone did. I never felt like it was a bad thing, mostly because of my family. My mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law. And that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like, that's not a language. Yeah. Even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland. It's not just clicks. The clicks are consonants. We still have vowels. Yeah, I grew up in this family and we couldn't live together. I could live with my mom, but my dad obviously couldn't live with us because it was illegal. And people would be racist to us all the time. But I was really lucky growing up because my mom is probably the most gangster human being you'll ever meet in your life. Right? Nothing got to her. Nothing fazed her. And I remember one day in particular, we were walking through the streets together, and some guy crossed the road, shouted something really mean at us. And I was about 4 or 5 years old. And I turned and I looked at my mom and I said, Mommy, what do we do if people do the racism to us? And my mom said, oh, baby, you know what we do if somebody's racist? We take that racism of theirs and we shake it up with the love of Jesus. And then we send it back. And I was like, what? And I was like, this lady's crazy. And she was crazy, but she was also right. Yeah. I didn't even realize how right my mother was until decades later, which I feel is what always happens with your parents, right? They're crazy, and then you get to their age and you're like, oh, that's what it means. I only learned the lesson my mother was trying to teach me when, as a grown man, I was walking through the streets of Chicago. Minding my own business, some guy drove by in a pickup truck and called me the N-word. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed. Mostly because he was driving a pickup truck. Yeah, I just felt like that was an unnecessary stereotype that he didn't need to perpetuate. You know? I feel like if you're gonna be racist, do something different. You know? Think outside the box. Drive a Prius. Yeah. It's better for the environment, and it's quiet. You can sneak up on me. We both win. But no, the guy was, he was driving a pickup truck, called me the N-word, and, to give you the full story, I was jaywalking, right? I was jaywalking, yeah. And I don't tell you this to justify what he did. I just want you to know that I'm no angel, okay? Yeah. I was crossing the road, and then the lights turned red for me, but I decided to walk anyways because I don't see color. This man was so offended by what I had done that he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, get out of the road, nigger! Oh, and you could see he wanted to hurt me. We locked eyes, and I could see in that moment he was waiting for me to be like, no. But what that man didn't know was where I was from. More importantly, who he didn't know was my mother. Because he thought it was just going to be a regular racist day. He thought he was going to drive by, throw the N-word out the window, carry on with his life. He didn't realize that that was the son of Patricia stepping into the road. And it happened in a moment, but it lasted a lifetime. Because I didn't even think. He shouted that word, and out of nowhere, my body was like... I was like, oh shit, this is it! And let me tell you something, LA, it was so beautiful because I didn't plan it, I didn't think about it. All I know is I stepped into the road, he drove his truck around me, rolled the window down, looked me dead in the eye, and he was like, get out of the road, nigger! And I turned and I was like, you're my nigger! And he almost crashed and died. Yeah, I've never seen a human being question themselves so many times in a split second in my life, right? Because I was smiling, and I could see in his face, he was like, wait, do I know you? Do I look like someone you know? And I don't know why he did this, but I'll never forget it. He looked at his hands. He looked at his hands like they'd somehow magically turned black, like I had cursed him with a nigger bomb. I don't even know what he was thinking. Oh, I actually felt bad for him, man. Because I've been called that word before, but that was his first time. Like, you never forget your first time, you know? Yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna what? Is that what he wants? He wants to throw the word at me and then my day is spoiled? Is that how it works? And we'll be like, nigger, and I'm like, I'm a nigger, go me nigger. I don't have time for that, man. My mom always used to say, she said, you can't control what people do to you, but you can control how you react. So I promised myself, I said, I'll never give a racist person the pleasure of seeing my pain. It may be painful, maybe hurtful, but I won't give them the pleasure of seeing my pain. Someone says something racist, I take that racism, shake it up with the love of Jesus, send it right back. And don't get me wrong, it's not always easy. Not everyone can do the same thing. Not everyone should. I also understand that for me, it is a little bit different. You know, I have a privilege in that I come from a country where the word nigger was never used to oppress anybody. You know, I mean, we had another word, because we had the best racism, come on now, but not that word. Yeah, the word we had was the word kafir or kafir. So we had another word, same thing. It's crazy to me as well sometimes. You know, same racism, different word. And here it means nothing, right? Kafir, kafir, nothing. Yeah, some people are like, is that like a probiotic? Is that what that is? Yeah, probiotic of my pain. Because we don't have that in our supermarkets for obvious reasons. No one warned me in America. I walked down the dairy aisle. I was like, oh, yogurt, ice cream. Ah! This lactose is intolerant. So it's different around the world, and I get that. You know, it's a privilege I have in dealing with the N word. You know, in South Africa, no one was called a nigger. All over Africa, no one was oppressed using that word. So that word has no power. Anywhere you go, nigger, 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 nothing. You know? Whereas right now, I can feel the tension in this room. I can feel it. Yeah, some people are like, God damn it, wasn't it like 7 times? I get it, Trevor. That's my quota for the year. Come on. I get it. It actually got me thinking that maybe we could use that discrepancy to help each other out. We'll create a program where you guys send all of your racist people to Africa just once a year.
Because Africans will roast the shit out of them.
The best part about Africa is you don't even have to wait. You know, you just get off the plane, there's black people everywhere. Just jump straight in, just be like, nigger, nigger, nigger. Yeah, and because Africa is run and owned by black people, they're not afraid of white people there. They'll just be like, ah, Jimbo, he's back, the nigger man. How are you, nigger? God damn it, I keep telling you, you're the nigger, but you're the one who always says it. Ah, nigger man. Yeah, you nigger. Put on some sunscreen before you die, nigger. Let's go party. It'll be different, that's all I'm saying. It's always weird for me, I won't lie, because although no one used that word in a derogatory way, the word nigger in South Africa does exist, technically, right? But in my mom's language, Xhosa, the word nigger means to give. That's what nigger means in Xhosa. That's how you use it. Mna, nzo nigga wena. Wena, uzo nigga yena. Tina, sizo nigga bona. Nigger. Yeah. So not only does that word not hurt me, when racist people use it on me, all they end up doing is bringing back fond memories of my childhood. Yeah. I get flashbacks to when I was a little kid. I'd be playing with my cousin in these toy cars. I'd always steal his cars because I didn't have my own. He'd start screaming. He'd be like, ah, mama, mama. And my mom would come running in the room. She'd be like, hey, Nissan Antoni, what's happening here? And my cousin would be like, auntie, mom would be like, hey, talk properly, I can't hear you. What happened? Be like, Trevor stole my toys. And my mom would be like, Trevor, did you steal your cousin's toys? I said, no, mom, I didn't steal, mom. I promise, I didn't steal. Trevor, when I don't lie to me, did you steal those toys? I said, no, mom, I didn't steal anything. What happened was his cars were parked illegally, mom. And so I had to tow them because we can't live in a society without laws. I mean, even me, I'm just a humble civil servant at the end of the day, mom. Without laws, what we descend into chaos, mom, if you think about it. That's all that's holding us up. As a civilization, it's the only thing that keeps us be like, hey, don't come here with that smart mouth of yours. Give those toys back. I said, mom, please, I just want to play with it. Hey, give those toys back. Give those toys. And I'm like, mom, she'd be like, hey, nigga. Nigga, when I Trevor. Nigga, Trevor. And my cousin would be there like, nigga, please. Rhetoric, but if you expanded your view, you realized that the rise of nationalism is taking place all over the world. In Austria, in Australia, in England, that was what Brexit was all about, right? They made it seem like it was about the economy, but it wasn't. The truth was, it was fundamentally people who wanted their country back. It never went anywhere, but they still wanted it back.
I saw people on the news talking to the BBC. That's why I'm voting for Brexit. That's why I'm voting for Brexit, right? Because this bloody country is going to the dogs, right? This bloody country, and I want Britain back. That's why we're voting for Brexit, because we want Britain back. From who? From who? Britain is like 95% white. Who do you want it back from? People saying the weirdest things, the craziest things. These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they are now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was. And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. You know? I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. You know, they were the best. And it's not because they were bad. I think I blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. Yeah, there's no stories of like Troy the Terrible from Trinidad. You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave. Can you imagine that scene? Just some random handsome guys hanging out on a beach in the Caribbean. One looking at the other out of nowhere. Darius! What, Troy? I was thinking, bro. Stay with me here. I was thinking, right? We should build boats, sail around the world, and force everyone to dance calypso. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And you know, colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in a history book. They colonize. But when you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange, because you go there and you don't just take over. You then force the people to become you. That is such a strange concept. When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa, they did it in Asia. And think about in India. Those cultures could not be more diametrically opposed. And out of nowhere, the British just decided to roll up. Imagine what the Indians must have felt like on that day. Minding your own business, walking through a field. Next thing you know, the British showed up on horseback. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Her Majesty the Queen, we have arrived. You over there, what is the name of this land? This land over here? This is called India. Well, my good man, I am here to tell you that India is now under the British Empire. And I'm glad that I can tell you that India is exactly where it was yesterday. No, I feel you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that we're here to colonize you by order of the Queen. Who is the Queen? The Queen of England, the ruler of Great Britain. She who was ordained by God. Which God? God. The one true God. There are many gods, my friend. What is the name of your God? There is only one God, and his name is God, and you too shall worship him. You want me to worship a God, but you don't want to tell me his name? What are you talking about? There are many gods, okay? There is Shiva, there is Lakshmi, there is Hare Krishna, there are many gods. What is the name of your God? His name is God. You don't know the name of your God? It's just God. Is it like mommy or daddy? You want me to worship your God, but you don't want me to tell me his name, huh? How am I going to pray to him? What do? Every morning I go to wake up and I pray like, oh, dear God, I was hoping that maybe God, you could help me. No, sorry, not you, other God. No, other God. No, not wrong God. No, God, I was trying to talk to other. No, you're right. I should have asked for her first name. No, God. No, other God, please. No, God behind that God. No, not you today, God. Other God. You're right. He told me he would know I was talking to, and I don't. No, other God, please. That God on that. No, that God. Then I wonder why my prayers are not getting answered, huh? How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am? No, because you never introduced yourself. I have come here representing Great Britain. And I have never heard of Great Britain. Who gave you that name? Well, we did. You called yourselves great? Isn't that a little presumptuous? Shouldn't you wait for other people to tell you how great you are? Huh? Shouldn't you just go around the world and just do good things? Then people go, oh my God, Britain, look how great you are. Well, I beg to differ. I believe we could do it because we knew instinctively. We are Great Britain. Well, in that case, welcome to Great India. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How dare you speak to me like this? Look, you're the one who dares to speak to me, okay? I was here minding my own business in my land. You came over here riding on your skinny cow telling me that things are going to change. I don't know who you are. All I know is you are really crazy, okay? You're not feeling too right, and I didn't want to say anything, but you look like you're going to faint. In fact, it looks like you have died last week, okay? Something is very wrong with your skin. You're not looking good, my friend. Maybe you should come down. We have a curry. We talk about this. What are you talking about? I look quite normal. You do not look normal, my friend. I've never seen anybody with that complexion in my life, okay? You look like you're playing hide and seek with the sun your entire life. I don't know what is happening, but that is not how a person should look, huh? I can see your veins pumping through your skin right now. Do you know how creepy that is? Pumping. If I was your doctor, I don't need X-ray machine. I just go, what is problem? It is your kidney. How do I know? Because you're translucent. That is how I know. Damn you, we are going to run this country whether you like it or not. We are not going to do anything you tell us. You're a madman. We are going to take it. You're not taking. We're going... She's all yours. Take. Don't play nice. Take. And that's how the British took over. That's how they took over India. And then, many years later, the British, after they were done pillaging, left and went back home. And so it only stands to reason that those Indians, who they had now made British, would seek out the land from whence they came. I don't understand why British people are complaining, going, why are they coming here? Why the hell are you coming here? Because you told us how great it was, so we came to see for ourselves. No, Go back to where you came from. Go back. You're not welcome here. This is not your home.
But you said we are all part of the British Empire.
No, when I said part, I meant you are under us, right? We're the British. You are the empire.
What do you mean?
We are the British and you are the empire.
Okay, well in that case, the Empire Strikes Back.
Now make some curry and tell me where we're sitting, okay? Let's go.